Howdy, everyone. My name is Juliana Dublin, and I am going to be presenting Pear Deck as my technology. So Pear Deck is an online presentation platform designed to make lessons interactive and engaging for students. It is similar to Google Slides or Microsoft PowerPoint, where you can just upload whatever kind of slide that you would like to insert. And then it adds interactive elements. It has multiple choice questions, open-ended questions, drag and drop activities, polls, quizzes. There's a drawing slide. There's so many options to be used on Pear Deck, and it's really cool to see. So as I was messing around with Pear Deck while doing this project, there were several uses and benefits. These are just some that I jotted down. One of the biggest ones, obviously, interactive lessons. It's used to transform presentations into dynamic learning. Oftentimes, getting up and presenting just a PowerPoint while students take notes can be long and boring, and students aren't really paying attention. So this offers a way for students to participate in the lecture while they are learning. Another big benefit of this is real-time feedback. Teachers can identify and address misconceptions during the lecture. You can see what students submit onto their Pear Deck slides, and you can go back and reevaluate some topics that might need to be reevaluated, or you can move on, which is really helpful. As far as remote or hybrid learning, it really can be used for both. I know that I've personally used this technology in in-person class where we all just logged on while the teacher was presenting, but it can also be used as like a virtual classroom. Students can join using a code when they're not in the same room, so that's super helpful. And another huge benefit is that it really adapts the lessons to meet the needs of the students. There's so many diverse learners, so this is definitely a big tool to help those students learn in the way that they learn best. So the example lesson that I'm going to be doing is adding and subtracting polynomials. This is the TEK that I mentioned. Really, I'm going to give like a behind the scenes and like a student visual of what all Pear Deck has to offer, while also just using adding and subtracting polynomials. So let me join the Pear Deck. So like I said earlier, it's like Google Slides. This is Google Slides. I have the Pear Deck extension on my computer, which is super easy to use. But I'm going to go ahead and start the lesson. Another good benefit of this is that you can do it student-paced or instructor-paced. So whatever is needed in your classroom, it gives you that option, which I think is really great. So we're going to do the instructor-based class. And let's join. I'm going to join the lesson, so it might be a little confusing on the screen, but bear with me. See how this works. So this is what it gives you for every presentation. You can kind of get a gauge of what your students are feeling that day. You can use it or not, but I think it's a cool way to see kind of how your students are feeling that day. So this is the first slide that I have. It is an interactive slide where students can write an open-ended response. So this is just the basics of polynomials is explaining what like terms are. So like terms are coefficients with the same variable raised to the same power. I gave some examples, and then I gave the option at the bottom to write any example of two like terms. So on the left side, my left side, I'm assuming it's your left side, you see at the bottom, it says the answer question. So you can really type anything in here and then submit it. You can also write multiple responses on your screen. So just gonna do something easy, and then you submit it. And then on the teacher side, the right-hand side or the left-hand side, I feel like I got those confused, sorry. But on the teacher side, you can see that it says one of one responses here at the bottom. And then you can show the responses and kind of see what your students are submitting. So you can talk about it, you can show it to your class, and you can keep going. So that's really cool that you can see the live responses like I mentioned earlier. So this is just a normal slide. One thing that I really like is that they have tons of templates to choose from, just like a normal like PowerPoint presentation. So everything can look clean, neat, and they have stuff kind of pre-made for you, which can be really nice if you are in a hurry. Don't want to make your stuff super cute. They have really anything you need. So this is another student interactive slide where as a multiple choice slide. So I kind of went through adding polynomials, combining like terms. So this is where students can apply that knowledge and answer a question. So let's just say a student chooses option B, submits the answer. You can go back and see the question, and another nice thing is that you can change your answer. So you can resubmit an answer after, if you've noticed a lot of students are struggling, you can go back, reteach some stuff, come back to this, and represent the question, and they can change their response. And then again, you can see kind of what students' responses are live in your presentation. So yeah, that's really cool. So this is I think like one of my favorite slides where you can drag and drop something. So you can kind of see how the students are feeling about the material during the material, like why it's being presented. So students can just drag this like, oh, I'm a little confused. And then obviously the teacher can see where all the dots are on the screen. So if the overall consensus is stop, I need help, you can go back, make more time to represent the material and keep chugging. So I think that's a really awesome tool. This is just another just normal text slide. I kind of just did a mix of both to kind of show everything it had to offer. This is just about adding polynomials vertically and horizontally, really whatever the student sees best fit for them. Whatever makes most sense in their head, obviously, but it's the same thing pretty much. So this is a tool that I thought was really neat. I've never seen this before while working with Pear Deck. So on this screen, you can kind of draw on it. You can enter a text box. But yeah, it's really neat. You can just show your work on here, which is really nice because for more complex math, obviously showing your work is essential to see if students are messing up and where they're messing up. So I thought that was really cool. So yeah, it's really hard to write with my computer mouse. So yeah, I think I'll get the gist. You can see that. You can see what the students respond. You can see if they're messing around and correct behavior if needed. So that's really cool too. So yeah, like I mentioned, there's so many different options that you can choose from on Pear Deck. I just put a few on there that I thought were really cool to use. I think that this is an excellent tool to get students involved doing presentations that can be long and boring, like I mentioned. I really strongly suggest checking Pear Deck out. I know that this is something that I will definitely be using in the future. So yeah, I think it would be super beneficial to go check it out. But yeah, once you end the slide, you can save it and view your student responses back going into the presentation. I don't need these responses. I was just kind of messing around, but you can generate really some takeaways that I think is really cool. You can see like it gives you a document of what students responded. So if you're doing like a graded something, you could do a quiz on this. You can go back and get all the grades and responses from that. And then your students have another chance to give you some feedback. But yeah, this is really cool. Pear Deck is really cool. It's a really cool presentation format. So I think that definitely something that can be useful in really any classroom setting in any subject. So yeah, thank you guys.